And still on business and economy, NNPC to commence export of Cawthorne crude. $0.4 billion Grenada National Resort to set to unlock citizenship pathway for African investors. That story is also on page 6. And on editorial, that's on page 9. We have rescuing Nigeria's power sector. That's a long conversation, we keep having. And honestly, talking of power, talking of electricity, it's been a...
It almost looks like you're powerless, trying to solve power issues.
We are indeed powerless. We are indeed powerless. All right, moving on to page 10. Suspected thugs attack Edo ADC Secretariat at Odige Oyegun's residence minutes after Akpata's defection. Alleged $385,000, 165 million naira fraud. Former NRCMD arraigned. Nigeria, sub-Saharan Africa must not sleepwalk through AI revolution. And that story, that's on page 11. Social media has democratized filmmaking. OAU Don, Dr. Hamid Lawal. That's on page 12. EU Nigeria kickstarts negotiations on technology innovation pact. Court grants federal government request to prosecute suspect linked to Bello Turji in absentia. 2026 budget defense. Reps suspend plenary by 2 weeks. Tie your borrowing to productivity, Obi tells federal government. All stories are on page 13. And on page 14, we have Bayelsa Assembly clears Diri's chief of staff to replace late deputy governor. Cross River suspends scrap trading for 6 months over rising vandalism. All stories are on pages 14 and 15. Moving to the back page on page 26, court adjourns till March 24 for definite hearing in suit seeking to deregister ADC, accord others. Lawyers' absence stalls hearing of Ned Nwoko's cyberbullying case against Sowore. Here we have type 1, cure for type 1 diabetes in mice developed. And that's a report on page 27. Taking some sports stories now. Galatasaray struggle without Osimhen. Oke Bakassi leads cast at NDG Cultural Expo night. And lastly, we have Besiktas boss hails Ndidi after emotional return. And that's all on the Nigerian Tribune this morning. Over to you, Victor.
Well, I've got the Vanguard with me this morning, and here's interesting stories on the front page. Most glaring one, how we escaped assassination in Benin. That's coming from Obi and Oyegun. You find more of that on page 7. On page 9, a couple of stories in there. President accepts Egbetokun's resignation as IGP. Appoint Tunji Disu in acting capacity. Phone tap in charge. DSS can't try me over casual remarks on TV. El-Rufai tells court 62 billion naira in damages. On page 8, Tinubu to opposition. Elections not won on social media. Interesting one right there. On page 19, CBN cuts interest rate to 26.5%. Well, we have another one on page 5. U.S. Congress recommends measures to end Christian persecution in Nigeria. Calls for legal reforms, improved policing, strengthening of criminal justice sector. 6th repeal of Sharia blasphemy laws, demands programs to allow self-defense for farmers. A one-audit report of effectiveness of aid support in Nigeria. 6 Nigeria's divestment from Russian military, measures to counter Chinese influence. U.S. pressure on Sharia can cause... Right here from the papers.
Is truly milky and contains calcium. So, no need to add milk for that rich, creamy cup, which helps to nourish your kids.
All right, thank you very much for staying tuned. Yes, well, the final story is right there on that one. U.S. pressure on Sharia can cause tension in Nigeria. That's coming from Khan. And there's no policy on religious persecution. Federal government replies U.S. Congress. And of course, let's just delve into the inside pages of the newspaper for this morning, where we have on page 4, Zamfara splashes 125 billion naira on 28 road construction projects. Banditry, Defense Minister lauds Lawal for donating the APCs and drones. On page 6, troops arrest 3 suspects conveying fabrics to Boko Haram and ISWAP. 2 fishermen killed in Benue ambush by armed herders. Police arrest 10 suspected kidnappers, recover ransom, operational motorcycles. Pregnant woman, 5 final year nursing students die in Ilorin Ogbomosho Road auto crash. And on page 7, how we escaped assassination in Benin. That's Obi and Oyegun. Gunmen storm ADC secretariat. That's Odige Oyegun's residence. We got intelligence of attack. APC Edo government denied complicity. ADC Atiku Akpata reacts. And on to page 8, where the federal government is saying we didn't pay any ransom to Boko Haram. Federal government files fresh 12-count forgery betting charges against Ozekome. Fire ravaged Lagos Airport Old Terminal to be demolished. Interesting one right there as we talk about Bode Judge to Tinubu, stop Wiki before it's too late on page 10. APC rejects Osun Assembly's new local government bill. Okay, interesting one. Okay, on page 12, Bayelsa Assembly confirms Peter Akpe as Deputy Governor. We have APC faults Ogarefe chiefs, elders over Ethiopia West Congress allegations. And Obi says, my donation to nursing schools not politically motivated. Cross River Assembly removes Ogoja Vice Chairman. And group says, First Lady's visit will reposition Ishakiri Nation on page 12. On page 13, 2027 ADC blasts Enugu government over 150 million naira elections campaign fee. Abia Airport, full compensation paid to Nsulu landowners. That's coming from the government. And Lilu women, there Soludo, declared their children won't go to school on Mondays. And Uzodima says Tinubu's reforms now yielding results across all sectors. On high tech, on page 14, autonomous system numbers, scarce resource making Nigeria invisible on the net. Okay, we'll flip on from there to what we have on the business side of it. On page 19, Dangote refinery to supply 65 million liters of petrol daily, exports 20 million liters surplus. And we have Mora here talking about CBN reduces interest rate to 26.5%. Still on business and economy, FGN Securities boosts pension fund assets to 27.5 trillion naira, and World Bank human capital development critical to Nigeria's $1 trillion economic goal. All right, we move into what we have right here, talking about page 32. Atiku Makinde in separate private visits to IBB in Mina. WHO probes hydrocarbon exposure in Ogoni land, and Naira appreciates to 1,359 Naira per dollar in official markets. On page 34, Kano Assembly seeks action over Kwakwanso allegations. Natasha urges stronger ECOWAS cooperation and innovation. Federal government, UK strengthening migration and security ties. And Governor Yusuf, in light of defection, says Kano more united than ever. Governor Idris says Kebi teachers to get car and housing loans. Obasanjo Unilag lecture students on values of good leadership. On page 35, Senate backs FCC, says underfunding weakens constitution mandate. Okay, and what we have on sports right here, starting on page 39. Osimhen refused to play against Korea Sport because of injury. Four Nation tournament, Okonkwo available for Super Eagles selection. Al-Hakli eyes Super Eagles forward on Nuachu. Athletics, youngster dumps Nigeria for France. NDG 2026, Edo Delta Bayelsa sets early pace on medal stable. Niger Delta games a fast track for future Olympians. That's coming from Igali. The sacked Angola coach Bemel takes over at Esperance of Tunisia. And of course, we have Morocco captain Saiss announces international retirement. And yes, Osimhen again threatens to drag Gala to FIFA over unpaid salary. Yes, there's a read of today's matches in the Champions League. We Atalanta up against Dortmund, Juventus against Galatasaray, Paris Saint-Germain against Monaco, Real Madrid against Benfica, and in the NPFL, where Rivers United take on Barao. That's results from yesterday, including Inter Milan's defeat at the hands of Bodo Glimt. And of course, Ademola Lookman shining as Atletico de Madrid won against Club Brugge by 4-1. And that's all we can take right here on the Vanguard newspaper. And indeed, that is the end of the newspaper review segment. We take a short break now and return with the weather report.
In today's fast-paced world, staying ahead demands peak performance from our bodies.
Like never before, our bodies need an optimum supply of essential nutrients, and Supermalt supports our daily nutritional needs.
Supermalt has 20 essential vitamins, minerals, and natural extracts for overall health and wellness. One Supermalt a day gives you energy and vitality, improves your mental performance, and supports your immunity.
Welcome right here to the interview segment this morning as we talk about something that concerns many Nigerians as it lays the ground for what might just happen for the later end of 2026 and of course 2027. We're talking about the political landscape of Nigeria. And yes, the topic for the conversation today is the Abuja Council polls, matters arising from there. And of course, we know that we got the Federal Capital Territory Area Council elections, more like the local government polls conducted by INEC. And of course, we saw the results right there. Everywhere has been awash with, the reports from the elections and the aftermath of everything that we saw in there. Some are already throwing some insight in there as to what they saw and what they have analyzed from everything that happened at the elections. But to join us and, of course, give us something bigger and, deeper from what we've seen from the Abuja Council polls is a political analyst and the person of Comrade Femi Babalola Obago. You're welcome this morning.
Thank you. Good morning.
Now, when you saw those results out there, what was your first reaction like? What did you think of?
There are a lot of things that really went through my mind. I I first of all looked at it from the angle of perhaps if Nigeria has fully accept the All Progressive Congress, including their policies. Number two, I sat down and I look at the election. I look at it that is it true reflection of our society or our political understanding? I asked myself several questions. I was able to come to a point that, one, I hate the photo apathy that really happened at that time. And I know that there are a lot of things that could have worked together for us to have even got to that area. But by and large, the election has been conducted. A little pocket of violence were being noted. But I still believe that if it does not really reflect our whatever that we are passing through in Nigeria, to some extent, I think I want to believe that maybe people voted a personality. They did not go in line with the political party. For example, the man who came out in Abaji, who happens to win the election, is a very known person to me, Abubakar. So, which means that in one way or the other, people may not toe the line of political party. They might have told the line of the personality that are involved in the election.
5 APC to 1 PDP.
Good. In that area, if you check the historical facts in Gwagalada, they have never mixed their road. They always, in one way or the other, cast their vote for PDP. You understand? And even the man that we are talking about today, at least you know that is more or less, like my people will say, he has, moved to another party.
Defected already. That raises questions now about the whole outcome, the process.
And you know, in political, in election and in political parties, if I have opportunity to contest in my own party, imagine I have a party and I want to contest, and I know that you have denied me that opportunity, and I'm very sure of myself, nothing will stop me from moving to another party, defect to another party, for me to be able to, have my things done. And at the end of the day, I may revert.
Why I'm asking this is because before we go on to the results and what we saw of the results, the outcry from people about this, the voting and the discrepancies that they noticed on the results, I'm asking now because it's barely days since he won that.
Oh, the second day.
So,
he defected the second day. And that one is telling you about Nigerians and the definition of politics in our area here.
For Nigerians.
I will tell you, in every bottom billion world, especially Africa, that is the way we do our things. We have two peculiarities. Sit-tight policy. Even when you know your head could not carry you on, you still want to be there. That's one. Then number two, you look for a greener pasture. If you find out that where you are, man, this is a desert, why don't I move? Regardless, no ideology. That is the problem. Imagine there is an ideology. I will have to stay, whatever that happens, come rain, come sunshine, let me stay where I am. But unfortunately, you see, one of the things that could have made that man to do that is politics of allocation. There is a way you are going to chastise the person that does not belong to your party, especially the ruling party. They will chastise you. As far as allocation is concerned, that may be one of the reasons. And another reason is that the guy may be an APC person, but he has discovered that you people, you don't want to make use of me. Let me go to another party that I know I'm going to have a grant. And today, he won the election. He defected back to the party where he thinks it could work in a saner climate, which I think, I doubt if there is any country in Africa that really belongs to that. The man is supposed to be removed in one way or the other.
And at this point, don't you think we should start looking or begin to look into stringent measures or stringent actions when we have politicians taking such actions, especially after election? You've been elected under a particular political party.
I know what you are saying. Yeah.
And also the Constitution also frowns at it. But yes, they all come out to say, oh yes, there is a division in the party, there is an issue in the party. But should we not start looking at stringent measures, stringent actions on such people?
We have it already in our Constitution. There was a time they legislated about that in the National Assembly. That, okay, if I won my election through one political party and I look at it from, I don't want to be here, let me go to another party now. Then there was this law that has been promulgated by the National Assembly that I have to go back to my constituency. Maybe I have to start again under that platform, which I've discovered is my best platform now. But unfortunately, we have a law, we have our convention. You understand? And you know, when you look at even the statistics of the entire world, if the law is silent about an idea, if the law is not working about certain things, then you use convention. And unfortunately, our convention is there. Hey, just leave this person, let him go. And before you know it, there will be this kind of political abracadabra, and they will silent about it. There is a law on ground, but unfortunately, we don't follow it here in Nigeria.
So does it mean law favors a certain set of people?
Oh my goodness. There was a man who wrote a book in 1956, Castle Finbacks. He said, the political benders. Now, when you look at the totality of that book, what's the book saying? He said that there are personalities in every community, in every nation. What are they doing? They are more important than the law of the nation. But I remember that time in 1963, they want to bring that book down to Nigeria. Nnamdi Azikiwe said, no, this is a young nation. In this part of the world, we believe in rule of law, nothing of such. Are we not experiencing it? Now, if the hand of the law touches you, then it means that you are just nobody as far as social stratification is concerned in your nation, Nigeria. But if you're a big boy, forget.
All right, let's go over to something that is obvious to the blind now. Before the elections, many people did not even care much about what was happening in Abuja, council areas. Many people did not give a hoot. But here we have a lot of focus on that area. I don't know if it's because of the presidency, APC, or Wike's comments over time. But then all of a sudden we started hearing about Amak, Abaji, and other areas. People started talking about those areas, and they were very much interested in what went down, especially with those comments from Wike. We are now seeing the scope of the results. And there have been questions ever since we started seeing them. Ordinarily, we would say, looking at the way we have had a lot of tampering with the numbering, the number of voters against the number of those who voted for a particular party in some certain areas were questionable. What does this say? In the full scale of it now, what does this say? Because now we are setting the ground for things that we have not seen before, things that we are expecting to see to be better in the coming elections, the general elections.
Let me take it from this way. Abaji, Amak, Gwagalada, and all these local government, yeah, they have been existing far beyond this time. Yeah. And INEC has been conducting their election. That's one. Number two, what makes this one to be so primus inter pares to Nigeria is because of one or two reasons. We are approaching 2027 election. Then we want to look at what is going to be obtainable next year when we have our 2027 election as regards the technology, the new device. So because of that, all eyes on me. And do not forget that many people will tell you we have 774 local governments in Nigeria. According to the Nigerian Constitution, it is not 774 because we will minus the 5 local governments of Abuja from that 774. And that is exactly what is in Constitution. So all eyes on me is the election that they have conducted in Abuja because we are approaching the next general election. Do not forget that after this, we have Ekiti election. Then we have Osun election, August 8. So we want to see if those devices are going to work as we are expecting it to do or to be. You understand? So that is the more reason everybody wants to look at. Number two is I don't want to use this gutter word. It's not because of, what can I say, the activities and utterances of Mr. Wike. Now, if you know everybody must vote APC and all blah, blah, you understand? So as all of us are now looking at it, okay, let's see what is going to, what we're going to get from it. And we discovered that APC won according to him and according to his activities. All this makes us to look at the election in Abuja as, are we not setting a template for 2027 election? And underline that word. Ask again, are we not setting a pace for 2027 because I know that there are a lot of influences by the time we want to conduct the next election.
And talking of 2027 election, just as you said, this is looking like a pace, setting experience for 2027 election. I want us to look at it holistically. But before we do that, we have a commercial break, and we'll be right back to talk about it. Please stay with us.
Alright everyone, open your ears, make we talk. Time don't reach to rearrange the sounds to give una small wisdom. Sounds mighty fresh now, but you know, I beg no be so. Before una go talk, say our smell no reach. When that think I'm twice so. Ever heard of Colgate, the #1 oral care brand in the world?
Colgate Maximum Cavity Protection with 24 hours cavity defense. The formula boost with calcium for lifelong smiles.
Mom, it's a time to brush. No more cover mouth.
Colgate for 24 hours maximum cavity protection.
When malaria knocks you down, you can be sure parasites are having a party in your system.
Welcome to our new kingdom, guys.
Comel, an effective weapon against malaria. Attacking the parasite army directly to give you express relief and get you back on your feet effectively. Comel on. Malaria gone.
Protect every day with Hypo. You don't always find a way back.
So disinfect your living room every day with Hypo.
Hypo, go Hypo. Protect your home every day with Hypo.
No gree. Protect every day with Hypo.
Hypo, go Hypo.
We're still talking about Abuja Council polls and, of course, scrutiny.
And that is exactly why I'm referring to Ekiti and Osun elections. Election in Abuja, it has no, very strong meaning to people. So let us, as I said, we can make use of Abuja election as a template, you understand? And again, for June and August election is another major election which we must never toy with. We have to see it as if we are conducting general election of 2027 because of the importance and a lot of things that we can derive from it. So this election, like I said, it has been conducted and it depends on the way individuals look at it. I think I can give INEC a very fair mark.
Fair mark. Victor, sorry, apart from now, INEC, your own personal scrutiny of the integrity of this election, what would you have to say about the integrity?
We can never have perfect election all over the world. Look at U.S. election, when they were conducting it, there was this kind of interruption from Russia, you understand? So if they could have such a thing over there, how much more we here? You know, we are talking of IREP, we are talking of real time, we are talking of all this kind of political language that are just existing now. And so many people believe that, okay, when we make use of these devices, are we going to have a very strong election? Are we going to have a very fair and free election? As long as it involves human being and again the technology, which can, break down at any time, we may not have the perfect election. But if I look at it from the way, we have a backup on the answer sheet, which have been recorded down through our longhand. And when you even look at it, you see a lot of mathematical computation. 2 + 2, they are still getting 111. You understand? All these minor errors are there. Whether the error is deliberately being committed or accurately, you look at it. You know, there are a lot of political arithmetic that may really occur during when you are in accounting. Maybe they transpose it. I don't know their language that they used to. I know when you just something that and you want to bring it down to another, there may be error, there human error and what have you. It's not so bad, but to some extent, we are not yet where we desire to be. But we have moved away from all these experiences that we used to have. Okay, in Abuja recently, during the election, a friend called me in Abaji, and he said he has heard that some people, they still made away with the ballot box. I said, Are they still in another world over there? Even if you carry the entire Nigeria, as long as the thing has been, put into the internet, there is nothing anybody could do about that. So we have gone far from carrying or snatching the ballot boxes. At least we are doing whatever we want to do electronically now. The only thing that we need to train ourselves is the computation. You understand? How am I not going to make A to be 80? You understand? So that's where we are going to.
Well, comrade, now I have questions. And it's stemming from that word, that phrase you just used now, political arithmetic. For what it's worth, I know that many people in these offices, as employed by INEC especially, know how to use a computer, know how to use a calculator.
Okay.
They know how to add 1 and 1 to make it 2. But in the same vein, these same people know how to make 2 and 2 become 34.
Yeah, of course, yeah.
Which is where the questions are arising from. If, even the Holy Book says, he who has been entrusted with little and delivers with little can get bigger.
The book of Matthew.
So,
all the synoptic gospel.
So, if we are having council elections in Abuja, right under the nose of the president, right at a time when people are now watching keenly, and then we are seeing those kind of discrepancies in there. It's not even just limited to one on some of these papers. There are several on some papers, and you are wondering how they came about that, how the total number of voters is not matching up with the number of those who have voted for a particular party. These are questions that we are asking ourselves. And, it now looks like we might think that we have moved away from where we were before, but it looks like we are still hovering in that same area.
Yeah, like your question. But let me come like this. In Nigerian election, when we are recording, imagine we want to record our scores now. There are two things that are very germane, and that is the party agent. You understand? The party agent. Sometimes, you will agree with me, that sometimes we, as a human being, thank God all of us have been to school, and you will understand, there's what you call mental evaporation. Oh, you must have read. And you want to pour down what you want to write in the examination. The mental evaporation may not allow you at that point in time. I'm not defending error. Listen, you see, I've seen a situation in Osun State one time. They wanted to recruit teachers. And they now ask you, oh, what's your degree? Oh, I read English. From where? Oh, this is university. I won't mention the name of the university now. Now, and they said, the past tense of is, I-has. He said, wow. No, that man said, okay, settle down, babe. The past tense of I-has is a day. When she lost that attention at that very point in time, the man said, okay, fine. Go and sit down. Maybe it may be because of certain thing. Then later they asked, he said, what? Oh, he said, where were you before? Mental evaporation. Now, that's why I'm not defending error.
But then, because, we have some of us who have done little bits with electioneering process.
Good.
And so we know that in moments like that, you have to guard against that because...
And that is the more reason we're having party legends. You just have to train them. That you do not sign what you know will not be profitable for your party.
And also, when we have such error reoccurring, it cannot be excused.
Yeah, exactly. No, some are deliberate. That's training, capacity building, and capacity utilization.
And also looking at how critical the election is, or how critical people are of such activity, such action. We should not. We cannot excuse it.
I got you, but you see, when you want to use somebody as your party agent, must not be a mundane individual. Somebody that is you understand that should be a little bit well-lit, so that at the end of the day, when they want to do their bracket, you will start. Do you know what happened in Nigerian election? Money. There is a way they will buy party agent.
This is exactly where I was going to, because now it looked more like there was a lot of, I don't want to just use the word vote buying, but then they looked like...
no, we call it transaction these days. You know, when you go to market, I was in the Akinyele yesterday. I wanted to buy pepper. There was this kind of transaction between me and Mama. 10 naira, 20 naira. That's exactly what we are doing now. And unfortunately, EFCC, ICPC, they don't have enough personnel that can go around. We don't know. But the little one that have been upheld, okay, let me arrest you because of what you have done. They have never been prosecuted. That means you are telling me that I should go on in that kind of error that I've been doing. You don't understand.
And when we have such now we call it vote trading.
Yeah.
When we have such vote trading going on, we have authorities seeing it clearly happening, even around polling booths, and nothing is being done, they're not being prosecuted. What's that to say about the integrity of the elections we conduct in Nigeria, or the integrity of the results coming out of such elections?
You want to drag me to where I don't want to talk about. Okay, let me put it this way. I told you that there are individuals in the nation, that there is nothing, we can't question them, because we believe they are high and mighty as far as constitution and their social stratification is concerned. That one is there. Number two, I know that the security operatives are always around the polling booth for them to be able to guide against whatever error, including transaction and what we have, food trading. But unfortunately, in Osun State 2018, if I do not miss a year, they got some people at Iwo with cash, as they did again in Abuja now. Then, what has been the aftermath effect of the arrest? Nothing. You see, there's what you call media trial. It is good for we media boys. Let's go out, let us report whatever we have seen. At the end of the day, nobody's going to investigate again what is going to happen. Because we know that by the time you are listening to the number or to the personality that is involved in, perhaps food buying and what have you, you see that these are untouchable individuals. So you now talk of integrity of election. Everywhere, like I said, we do not have such a thing. But I know we will get there one day. It may not be now. We will get there. You know why? Ask a little boy from this part of the world. Take 10 people. Ask him about him or her, about the next election. They will tell you, this person will win. Then you ask question, is it because of his ideology? Is it because of the political policy? Is it because of, they will tell you that's exactly the way we used to do it in Nigeria. But I know we will get there gradually. Rome, no, truly, has never been built in a day, but day by day. You understand? If you do not stop and we are moving gradually, we'll get there. But integrity now, no, it's not our watchword.
You mentioned something when we were speaking at first, from the beginning of this conversation, and it was about little bouts of violence in some areas. Should we be worried?
Yes, it calls for concern, because what would have made me to fight my sister in the name of election? What would make me to punch an individual because we are voting? I see this as a very wrong idea. Okay, the personality that are involved in election, they are somewhere cooling off. We, the supporters, are fighting at the polling booth. And at the end of the day, you look at it, it doesn't really warrant it. All these pockets of violence could be stopped, especially if our security operatives, they are very on alert at the polling booth. I've been covering election. I was in Ekiti, the last election they did that brought this man there, Oyebanji. And in one of these, Ekiti, they have so many, all this name of Ekiti. I couldn't remember exactly the name of that place. And there was this kind of fist call between a woman and a man. And they were shouting the name of the person that they want. I don't know what really transpired, but I discovered that when you see a grown-up man, a man, fighting a woman, he beat that woman mercilessly. And I was telling the police officer that, please, this man needs to be arrested. He said, you don't tell me my job. Oh, I said, I'm sorry. I said, that's a very good news, because you see part of the story I'm a journalist. He said, you are a journalist, okay. Then that's how he said, okay, no problem. He arrested the man. After that, we heard nothing.
Okay, comrade, based on your story, we'll have to come back to that, looking at how complicit some of these security agencies or personnel are to these vices we're talking about. But before we talk about that, we'll be back after this commercial break. Please stay with us.
When malaria knocks you down, you can be sure parasites are having a party in your system.
Welcome to our new kingdom, guys!
Comel, an effective weapon against malaria. Attacking the parasite army directly to give you express relief and get you back on your feet effectively. Comel on Malaria Gone.
for staying with us. Comrade, before we went on that break, you were talking about security in Ekiti State. You experienced, a security officer who told you not to teach him his work, even when violence was happening.
Honestly.
Now, when we have security personnel in such areas, especially during elections, and they look and they just look away. They see and they just pretend as if they do not see. Now, how do we trust our safety with such force, with such security agencies?
Well, because you refer to the word safety, let me go there. Because I was thinking you want to ask another question within that area. Our safety is in the hand of God and those that have been entrusted to guide us during the election. And one of the things that is so paramount is that if I'm going out and I know that, as I'm going out to cast my vote, my life is not secure, I wouldn't go. That has been one of the reasons for voter apathy. Good. We only need to encourage them to please do their job. You are there because of certain mission, is to guard the life and properties of every individual that is there. And constitutionally, you have been given that role to play. Therefore, if they have understood that and they know that this is what they're supposed to do, then everybody, all hands must be on deck for them to be able to do exactly what they need to do. I'm a journalist. You send me into that area to go and cover. I know my responsibility. For every position, there is a responsibility. And for every responsibility, there is a duty. For every duty, there is an obligation. Let me do my own. You should do your own. Let every individual that has been given opportunity, to oversee certain things, let them do the responsibility or what kind of things that the law has accorded them to do. It is not even good for them truly to look away, because it's like you are really allowing certain things to go on. So maybe our security operatives, they need to be told and again to be trained, especially when the election is about to come. You don't assume that you have known every other thing. That's why we go for capacity building. Even in our profession, you go on and on. This AI of a thing now. So therefore, they too, they need to be told, they need to be trained again. The election is coming. These are what is expected of you. I know this will do that.
Okay, talking of enthusiasm now, low voter turnout, voter apathy, we've seen that play out over the years in Nigeria. Let's start with 2019 election. We had about 35% turnout. 2023, we had about 25 to 29% turnout. And looking at this Abuja concluded area council election, I think it was about 15%.
It's coming down.
There's a decline, and you would ask the question, why are people not coming out to vote? What exactly is wrong with the enthusiasm of people? What should we say is wrong? Is it that we do not have trust in our leadership? Is it that people do not trust the process? Or,
otherwise, you are giving us 2 points, which I think, without looking for another thing entirely, these 2 points, they are enough. But let me add to it. When the policy of government is not favorable, I give you my vote. Tayo, let me give you my vote. You want to represent us in Abuja. And I discovered that in the federal constituency where you have obtained your vote, we no longer see you. That would never ginger me or give me an opportunity again to come out, to come and cast my vote. So when the policies of the government, when there is no interaction between the elect and the people that have given you that opportunity, who will come out? No, I will cite an example. Sometimes ago, some of us met with certain elected officer from our local, and we are telling him, Oga, when you check the road that leads to this place and the road is so bad, what are we going to do? Even if it is just for you to grade it, for us to be able to, for the place to be very motorable. And the man said, what is the economic value of the road that we are talking about? Now I look at those who came with me. Then I look at the man. No economic value. But by the time you are coming for the election, you never ask also whether the road has that economic value or not. What are we trying to say? When the policies are not really in tandem with the behavior and things that will really bring dividends of democracy, to the doorstep of the people, nobody will be ready, to go out. These are the things that kill enthusiasm, as you have just mentioned. Apart from the policies, then you look at the personality involved. We gave you vote in Igbo Lamu. By the time you got our vote, you relocate to Oshogbo. Or you say, no, I can't stay in the bush anymore. But do not forget that you got our vote from the bush. That's another thing. That's personality involved. Then, again, you look at the systemic failure. If we have opportunity that, we have given vote to Tayo and Tayo has been representing, and Tayo failed to do our bidding. Because the essence of democracy is that you do not take us to where you are going. No, we'll take you there. We are the port. Whatever you put on the pot of coal, we cook that food for you. So you don't drive us to where you are going. We will drive you. We as our community, and this is exactly what we want. But telling us that this is what you want to do, you are not doing anything.
Comrade.
Because of that, many people will just look at it from another way. That, why am I going to cast my vote again when I know you are not going to do our bidding?
Well, comrade, this is where we wrap up with you talking about, asking for accountability. How best can we do that? Accountability, party structures, what are we seeing from them that would make us know that these are the right things to ask of them?
Well, it is exactly what we are doing now in BCOS. This is part of the way to ask. This is the part of the way we could assess them. We have a program of this nature, Matters Arising, and we are discussing something that are very valuable and germane to our existence. If actually they are representing us, these are part of the program they're supposed to listen to. If you cannot do that, you have media assistant who will be jotting us, sir, today these are what I've had. But permit me, majority of them that are representing, they are only representing their stomach and their pockets. Somebody told me of a federal honorable that out of the 88 or 188 days that we are supposed to be on the seat, the man told me he doubts it if the mass ever appear within 15 days. Not longer or shorter than 15 days. You understand? So the problem we are having is that the only way by which we can ask questions is on this kind of program. If you move away from this kind of program, you understand, and you want to rely on one thing, that what about the people that are casting vote for them? What about their constituency? They will disappear. Have you do what this means? Disappearing acts. They will just disappear.
All right, I want to thank you very much, Comrade Femi Babalola Obagun, a political analyst who has joined us right here on the conversation around Abuja Council polls and matters arising. Thank you very much for sharing your wealth of knowledge with us.
The man from Delta, you are welcome. Thank you so much.
All right, so we'll go on a short break and return with the second installment of the interview segment. Don't go anywhere.
During this blessed month, we begin with prayer, with faith, and with the spirit of giving. Ramadan is more than just about fasting. It's about bringing hearts together. Together we break our fast and celebrate the blessings of this holy month. Bring out the flavors of the season with Anga Ramadan Kareem.
In today's fast-paced world, staying ahead demands peak performance from our bodies.
Like never before, our bodies need an optimum supply of essential nutrients, and Supermalt supports our daily nutritional needs.
Supermalt has 20 essential vitamins, minerals, and natural extracts for overall health and wellness. One Supermalt a day gives you energy and vitality, improves your mental performance, and supports your immunity.
All right, welcome back. We're still talking about Abuja Council polls and, of course, matters arising and everything associated with that particular election. Also looking at 2027 general elections. We also have two major elections for this year. Those are conversations we've been having and we are still having. To do justice again, we have Honorable Olayinka Dairo. He's the Secretary, Inter-Party Advisory Council, IPAC, Oyo State Chapter. Thank you so much.
Thank
Honorable.
you.
It's good to have you.
Yes,
Let's look at the council election in Abuja. Let's start with that, of course, because that's what the major conversation we're having this morning. What's your overview of the election? How would you rate the election and the integrity of that election?
Well, the election has come and gone. And we've seen reactions. And with what we had, because I was not there, observers that went to what we read on the paper, if you want to put them on the scoreboard, I can tell you 80%. They did well, and the introduction of technologies, accreditation through beavers, and transmission of election results, all those things, they put them in place, which I feel that that is part of what INEC is expected to do. So I think the election went well there.
But looking at APC, which is the ruling party, having or winning major, out of the 6 council areas, we have APC winning 5 council areas. Do you think that speaks to the choice of the people? Before you answer that question, Honorable, we have a commercial break. We'll be right back.
All right.
Thank you very much for staying with us. So, Honorable, before we went on that break, I was asking, looking at the result of this election, do you think it speaks to the mind of the people? Do you think it was what the people wanted, was what eventually came out of the election?
Well, the way I look at the election in FCT, I can tell you it's like kind of local government election we are conducting in other states. Do you understand? And the way it has been happening at the state level, I think that is the same thing we saw in FCT. The way everything went, I can tell you that up till now, some people, I think I had some complaints that this, that, but we have not heard that there are some places where the ballot boxes were stolen or something like that, which I want to believe that that speaks mind of the people. And whoever that they have given them chance to, you know, to approach the legal means to pursue it. But today, if I want to talk about it, I can tell you that that is the mind of people. Who told you the PDP that won, the one seat, will not go back to join the APC? Who told you that?
Oh, we already saw the news
So
few days ago.
you see, I'm not surprised. When you call something local government election, that FCT ones, we were complaining that the state at the state level, it is the state that conducts the local government election. What of the FCT owner that INEC conducted? We are still getting the same result. But with the question you asked me, I will tell you that is the matter of people to me.
Now, this council elections was more about testing the strength of these parties at the grassroots level.
Grassroots level, yes.
And it's also on that side to the pointers towards the 2027 general elections coming. The questions raised now, let's talk about party structures.
Yeah.
You work with the IPAC, you're the secretary
Yes.
of your state.
Yeah.
There are questions around some of these other parties, the ADC, for instance, and their claims before the elections took place. The PDP itself, where their sole winner has gone on to join another party. The APC, who have owned everything, and yes, of course, they had ESM Wiki working for them, and his claims before them. Let's talk about the party structures in the build-up to the elections, and then the election process regarding the party structures.
Well, as it is now, IPAC is an umbrella of political parties. And I can tell you, the way it is now, you will see that this majority of these people are actually defecting from their party to, especially moving from PDP to APC. The structure might be there. To me, I can tell you, PDP is a major opposition as we speak. Or the way we speak it, the way we talk about it, that, PDP is a major opposition. But now, can we even say that again? That PDP is a major opposition? When the ruling party has about 29 or thereabouts governors by their side? I can't really remember the figure, and I think 28 or 29, if I'm not mistaken, as we speak. So, obviously, it shows that the structure of some parties are somehow going down, while the ruling party is actually gaining more weight, more power, you know. So as it is, I can tell you, in preparedness of 2027 general election, I do tell people that having a certain number of governors or the majority of states that is owned by the ruling party does not even translate to winning an election. I can tell you that. In the time of Jonathan, we saw how everything went. How the governors were decamping from their parties to PDP, blah, blah, blah. At the end of it, what happened? What happened? We saw how Goodluck Jonathan lost the election. We saw what happened with Olubaby that time, you know. So it's I can tell you now that as we are preparing for 2027, we are going to see different type of menace. I can call it menace.
Let's look at political parties and their structures now.
Yeah.
Especially APC and PDP.
Yes.
And looking at some Wike's anti-party activities. What can we say, or what exactly can we say is he wants to derive, from such acts? We saw his support for APC during this council elections, and of course we've seen his activities for the past few months. His anti-party activities and all the drama that has surfaced from PDP to Wike and his faction and the likes. What can we say about
Wike is a man that always likes to be proving points. I can tell you, people have been accusing him that he's doing anti-party, he's doing this, he's doing that. There was news I read that he said, whoever that said he's doing anti-party, that he's ready to sue the person. You understand? That he's still in PDP. And that is the truth. But APC is working for APC as we speak. He's a minister under APC.
It doesn't mean he goes against the ideologies of his party.
That is what I'm saying. It is, Wike as a person, if Wike wants to fight you now, he will use whatever he has to fight you. You understand? We saw what is happening in Rivers. And we can understand how, as in the kind of role he played. I think everything has calmed down now because of the intervention of the presidency. You understand? There is no problem in Rivers again. But Wike as a person, Wike will tell you that he's not doing any anti-party because APC is working with APC now as a minister. And President Tinubu felt that, he's the one that is capable of holding that position. I tell you that does not mean that he's not in APC, that he has not become to APC. They might be looking at his activities the way it is going about destroying his own party, because that's what I can say. He is actually destroying the party with what's happening now. We are still saying, we are still thinking that in this 2027 general election, will PDP be able to participate in 2027 election?
Why do you think they might not be able to
participate? Of things. Because they have not even put their house in order. You understand? The side of Wike, the side of our governor here, the issue they are having, one side is having the national chairman on his side, the other one is having the national secretary on their own side, and INEC has come out to tell us that unless both of them work together, whatever they bring to INEC without their signatures, it is not and void, that there is nothing they can do about it. And I don't think these two people are ready to work together.
But looking at these political parties and their structures, and also the internal crisis that has been rocking these parties. Now, I'm not referring to APC and PDP alone, other political parties or opposition parties, not just APC, PDP. Yes. What do you think would say to democracy, especially looking at our 2027 or the 2027 general election coming up? Do you think it will give the people much choice, much options?
Let me tell you something. The ruling party, if it's possible for them, they would not want any other party to exist at all. I'm telling you. Because they want to make sure, I read somebody saying something yesterday that a court in Abuja will have to sit on, no matter that they said ADC, Accord and some other parties should be deregistered. I read that news yesterday, I was like, what is the meaning of all this? That there are some parties that they have not met INEC requirements. What are they talking about? All what they are doing is to make sure that they put other parties in disarray so that APC will be, people will not have any choice than to vote APC. But it can't work. It cannot work. We are not using one party system in Nigeria now. We have other political parties. And that is the essence of democracy. Opposition has to be there. If there is opposition, there is no way they can put whoever that is ruling on their toes. They will not be doing whatever they want. When there is strong opposition, now I have said it that I can't say that PDP is a strong opposition again. You understand? But other political parties, they are coming up, they are warning up that this 2027, yes, let us go there. Let us give, I want to give APC the fight, So the ADC is coming up, Accord is coming up, and other political parties, you understand, they are coming up. So I pray PDP are able to resolve whatever they are having in their parties. But as we speak now, what the only party wants is for other political parties to deal with this array so that it will not have any strong opposition for 2027.
All right, let's use your experience with political parties to X-ray ADC now.
Okay.
The party, they're ambitious
Yeah.
as we speak, and this is one of their first few failures. Let's use that word after the elections. How do you expect that they will react to this? Because first off, they are still crying foul about the results and some of the discrepancies that we noticed.
In FCT election.
The council elections and all that. We are asking about what they have done, how they have gone ahead to do some of those things that they have done, amongst several other things right there. We are going to X-ray everything right after this break. We have to go pay some commercials, and then we'll right back to X-ray the AZC after this election.
During this blessed month, we begin with prayer, with faith, and with the spirit of giving. Ramadan is more than just about fasting. It's about bringing hearts together. Together we break our fast and celebrate the blessings of this holy month. Bring out the flavors of the season with Anga. Ramadan Kareem.
Protect every day with Hypo. Germs always find a way back.
So disinfect your kitchen every day with Hypo.
Hypo, protect your home every day with Hypo.
No grief. Protect every day with Hypo.
Hypo.